Welcome viewers, Dr. JW, theologist, Islamophobia defined. I hope you enjoy it. This is the last installment on this subject, the definition that protects people, not ideas. What definition can protect Muslims from hatred without making Islam immune from scrutiny? The final episode begins by removing what Islamophobia cannot legitimately mean. It cannot be a psychiatric diagnosis because it's absent from the recognised clinical classifications. It cannot mean every negative judgment about Islam because religions, scriptures, doctrines, histories, institutions, laws, cultures and political movements remain open to investigation no matter what. They remain open to investigation, rejection, satire, criticism and condemnation, despite the word, in this case, Islamophobia. It cannot be defined solely by offence because offence is subjective, and it cannot be allowed to halt an inquiry merely because the inquiry reveals disturbing material about the Islamic ideology. The decisive question, viewers, must concern people and conduct. Was hostility directed toward Muslims because they were Muslim? Was there discrimination, dehumanization, intimidation, collective blame, exclusion, or advocacy of harm? Or was the speaker investigating or criticizing a doctrine, religious text, historical claim, extremist movement, institutional failure, cultural practice, criminal patterns, or political ideology? The distinction must remain visible even when the subject is emotionally charged. This is my final comment, viewers, on Islamophobia. Islamophobia is a non-clinical term describing unjustified prejudice, hostility, discrimination, dehumanization, intimidation, or collective blame directed towards Muslims because they're Muslim. It does not include good faith investigation, criticism, rejection, satire, or condemnation of radical Islamic beliefs, texts, doctrines, institutions, historical claims, practices, criminal conduct, extremist ideology, or political movements unless that expression demonstrably crosses into prejudicial or unlawful treatment of Muslims as people. And I'm going to read that again because it's a mouthful. My final definition of Islamophobia is a non-clinical term. It's a non-clinical term describing unjustified prejudice, hostility, discrimination, dehumanization, intimidation, or collective blame directed towards Muslims because they are Muslim. Right. So that means the terrorists that run around killing Jews and so forth must be Israeli-ophobia. What's the Israel religion again? Judaismophobia. So there must be, okay, so if you parallel that, there's Judaismophobia. Now, what it does not include is good faith investigation, criticism, rejection, satire, or condemnation of Islamic beliefs, texts, doctrines, institutions, historical claims, practices, criminal conduct, extremist ideology, or political movements unless that expression demonstrably crosses into prejudicial or unlawful treatment of Muslims as people. Now, if the Muslims bring it on themselves, then that means it's not Islamophobia and everybody's got a right to say, hang on a minute. The definition prevents the word from impersonating a psychiatric diagnosis. It protects Muslims as human beings while refusing to grant immunity to Islam as a belief system. I'm going to say that again. This definition prevents the word from impersonating a psychiatric diagnosis, and it protects Muslims as human beings while refusing to grant immunity to Islamic as a belief system. Islam as a belief system. It also recognizes the final danger uncovered by this thesis. And let's finish with this. A term intended to expose prejudice becomes destructive when it is used to conceal evidence, intimidate investigators, or make religious ideas untouchable. So I'm going to say that again. A term intended to expose prejudice becomes destructive when it is used to conceal evidence, intimidate investigators, or make religious ideas untouchable. And that's where the definition must hold. Thanks for coming in, viewers. I hope you enjoyed this little mini-series, Islamophobia Defined. Bye for now.